You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
Welcome everybody to episode number 8 of La Cafeteros podcast. I am your host, David. And alongside me, I got two other cafeteros. First, as usual, Jorge. ¿Cómo te va, señor? Oh,
Pretty good,
Jorge.
man. How are you?
Pretty
good.
I'm doing great, man. We got our squad set, and then we got another cafetero, Xavier. What's going on, man?
Good, man. I'm glad you guys invited me. I'm glad to be on. I was just missing the intro song, man. You gotta do a little cumbia or something, man, because I'm used to all the cool songs when we come on.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're only at episode 8, so we're gonna just start getting rolling now. We're
No
getting
excuses,
rolling
man.
now,
No excuses.
and we got the squad, and I'm excited to go over it. A couple surprises, I would say, and shout out to Soccer City.
I was sending people to come watch, so that's why it looked really awkward. Yeah, I was like, watch.
All right, so here we go. I'm gonna cover my face for a second. So we're gonna go through the roster. Shout out to Jorge for putting this together. So the first surprise for me, or at least the first, I don't know if the word is controversy, but I wanted to see Kevin Mier on this team as a goalkeeper. David Ospina, I get the veteran presence. But he's like 56 years old at this point. Montero is playing okay in Argentina, but I wanted Kevin Mier. He's the only 20. What is he? 26. He's the only young guy that I thought that he should be getting that experience. He should be on the squad. But outside of that, no surprises. What did you guys' thoughts on the goalkeepers? Jorge.
The funny thing is about this is that Kevin Mier just won Liga MX just like 2 days ago. So like the irony that this just happened is what like is tough. But like I was saying the other day, earlier today, I was just kind of like, I don't mind David Ospina solo porque like the fact that they're gonna Camilo Vargas and Montero are gonna need his experience and be like, hey, this is what you should do, because he's been to 2-3 World Cups already. So I feel like having that kind of experience and veteran presence in there is going to be very helpful for them.
Well, I mean, Camilo Vargas is probably going to be the starter. And again, I understand the Ospina factor. Ospina is the veteran, right? He is the veteran on the team. He's older than James. He's the elder statesman. So I get it. But I would have put Mier over to Montero. Xavier, what do you think about the goalkeepers?
There's always, like we're saying, there's always going to be a controversy. Somebody's got to get left off. And I think with Mier, they're thinking, that with the goalkeeper position, you can play deep into your 40s. He's definitely very talented kid. He had come back from a pretty big injury. And I think he was the one that if someone's going to be left off, it was going to be him, because Ospina is like a legacy pick, right? He's a legacy pick. He's the man. And they gave it to him. You know how we are in Colombia. It's the way they are with the older players, and they like hold on to them. But I think they're giving him, this was like his goodbye. So I don't have a big problem with that, because Mier is going to be around, and he's going to continue to develop, and he might be the future. He might have 2 more after this, if things go well. But or maybe not, because there's a lot of young guys coming up too in Colombia at the goalie position.
I will tell you, okay, so let's move over to the defenders, because I will tell you one thing that I did have an issue with. I had an issue with Yerry Mina being called up. Why is Yerry Mina being called up to this team? I don't understand. Like the 2018 thing was cute. He had a couple of headed goals, but have you really seen him do anything of substance for, anybody, period, at this point? What did you guys think of the back line? What do you think of the defenders? Because that, to me, was the biggest question mark. Why is he being called up?
Can I hit this one first? Look,
yes, absolutely.
The thing with me, I look at the roster in general. I'm going to jump around over here. I look at the roster in general, and I think of Colombia as they've made a jump in the world scene. As they're not a powerhouse, but they're a team that you have to respect, right? And people think it's a good team, talented. They can challenge anyone. Look at the friendlies that they played. They beat Germany, they beat Spain. Well, then they got whacked right towards the end now, Croatia and France. So with Colombia, it's up and down. You never know. But personally, I think the only time Colombia will be consistently an elite team is when they have solid center backs, when they have a solid defense. They've never had like a world class center backs. We have really good ones, right? But I'm talking about world class recently. In the recent times they've gone to the World Cup, I don't see that. Argentina, they just won the World Cup, but they had failed so many times before. Until recently, they had two of the best in the world, right? Two of the best center backs, and that sets up the whole team. Now, Colombia, in general, as a back line, needs work. So that's where I'm a little worried about them. And Jerry Mina, he just brings physicality and experience. You and I would say most of Colombia would rather have somebody else, but who?
I would have just said Mosquera.
I thought so too. But what happens with these, once again, the Colombia thing, a lot of times the coach doesn't make the final decision. We'll go into that a little bit with some of the players that are not on the roster because the coach wanted, but they said, So I think Jerry Mina is a very popular, like, locker room guy, a presence guy, and like he keeps the tone mellow and it's not all that nervousness and stuff, So I think that might be his role. But yeah, we don't have solid center backs. So,
and I think we know that, like, based on the potential starting 11, like, Jerry Mina's not even going to be a starter. Like, it's going to be Lukumi and Sanchez, and Davinson Sanchez.
Should be, right?
Should be. So, I mean, if he can come on for 15, 20 minutes when somebody has higher legs and he has the experience, I don't see how that's particularly bad. But I think Mosquera was the odd one out especially when you have like a guy like Dita in as well.
Yes, you have Willie Dita. Look, before we move on, Jerry Mina, the only thing that I think that he could give us is late in the game, 92nd minute, you have a set piece, put him in there for that set piece. Hopefully he can get a header like he did against England in 2018, which that goal basically got him a contract and a trip to Camp Nou for like a couple months. So yes, maybe that. But outside of that, I don't agree with it. I would have got Mosquera instead. But like you said, Davinson Sanchez, which I think is underrated. I really think that he's underappreciated.
He's underappreciated.
And he just won the championship with Galatasaray. Lukimi, those will be the two starters. You have Mina, you have Dita, you have Daniel Munoz, which I think is one of the best right backs in the Premier League.
He's locked in at right back for sure.
100%. And Santiago Arias is right behind him. And
he's
Arias,
solid.
He's a solid backup. He can defend, whereas in Daniel Munoz, although he gives you more in the attack, I think Arias is more. If you're protecting a lead, you put in Arias late in the game, and then you have Mojica on the left with Machado behind him. So
we're a little weaker on that side, I think. We're a little weaker on the left side
for sure.
Mm-hmm. The left side's always been tough, but the right
Mojica
side
is weird, right? Sometimes he has like phenomenal games where we're like, damn. And then other games,
but he's been declining a little bit.
That Copa America run from Mojica was like some of the best that I've seen him. And
maybe he has a little bit left in him for this. I mean, this whole Colombia roster it makes you scratch your head because you think of how. I think Colombia is extreme, right? It's either they're going to be fantastic or they're going to really suck. They might not get out of the group. You don't know what you're going to get with this team. But you know
the potential at the same time, which is the good frustrating part about this at the same time.
It's frustrating because you always go with high hopes and then they crush you. But I don't want to go into the World Cup with low hopes. I'm expecting, that they play up to their potential, and I think, they can go further than they've ever gone.
Hasta la chimba. I am ready for it all. So midfield: Richard Rios, Lerma, and James. We would assume that that's the trio in the midfield. That's the starting midfield. But then you look at the rest. Kevin Castaño, I don't know why he got called up. He doesn't even play for River Plate right now. So why he's there? No sé.
I don't know. Agent, he must have a good agent or something.
He's young. He's 25, but
he was playing really, really good before he became an unknown. When he was an unknown, he was playing fantastic. He got it, which is what pisses me off about a lot of the Colombian players. When they're working the way, fighting the way up, they're fantastic. They're hungry.
When they stay humble,
and that's the thing. And then once they see a little bit of fame, it kind of drops. I'm not saying all of them.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying all of them. And remember, I'm Colombian too, so it's not like I want to criticize them, but it's what I see. And that pisses me off so much when there's so many guys with so much talent. And when we talk about Jorge Duran, and when we talk about forwards, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah. I think the guy that is most missed out is El Jovencito, Yasser.
100%, man.
Asprilla should have been in this starting lineup at least. Either in pace of Castaño or Carrascal, either one of the two.
They screwed him throughout. I agree with you 100%, Jorge, because they screwed him throughout the whole process. They brought him in. Sometimes they didn't bring him in.
How old is this kid?
They barely played him, and they made a bunch of excuses. But his talent is way, way above like other young guys than any other guys that are there. He can break people down.
He's only 22 years old, and se mantiene un talento.
But look, he's playing with Davinson Sanchez and Galatasaray, but he doesn't play much either.
He's another thing with his agent, though. But you see the talent, I see the talent. Oh, that's my kid. Who knows what's going on back there? You see the talent, I see the talent. What the hell do these guys not see in Colombia? And you know another thing. This is what pisses me off show for me is when they say, oh, a guy's 20, 21, oh, he's too young. No, man, if he was 16, 17, he's been flashing. You play him and you take him. But this is Colombia. And then you have a guy like that can break down. And even if you want to use him as a winger, because every time he gets the ball, there's not a guy that can get him one-on-one. They start backing up because he breaks people down. He gives good passes and he can score. But he's not going to be there. So I agree with you, George. Jorge, 100% with that.
Bueno, Portilla and Puerta, both, for the most part, I think a lot of people are happy that they're getting the opportunity.
I love Puerta. I love Puerta. I love him.
And Portilla also. I think that they're both nice additions that some people were surprised by. You have John Arias, which is Colombia's version of Motorcito. He's all over the place.
For me, he's the best player in the whole process. He's been the best player in the whole process.
He's solid.
And then they treat him
never blow your mind, but he's solid.
But they treat him like crap too. He was always the first guy subbed off. He's playing the best on the pitch, and he's always subbed off. And I don't understand sometimes. I don't understand.
You have Campas. That's
he's a solid player.
He's playing okay for Rosario Central. You have Quintero, which is having his moments in River. A lot of people are asking him to be the starter over James, which that could be a discussion for another show. Like I said, another show we could break that down. And then Carrascal, which is basically kicking people in the face, getting kicked out of games.
It's too late. I think it was too late to kick him off the team. I think
it was.
They already had their mind made up.
And it doesn't help. But I mean, like it does that. Didn't Flamengo win El Brasileirao? Weren't they the ones that? I think so. Like it helps. Like you just got done winning off a big tournament, and he scored like a couple of times lately. But algo pero es nada. So
no, he's got fabulous potential too, and he's got the size and he has the skill. But he doesn't do much with the team. But
he doesn't do much in international.
They just lost 3-0 because he got kicked out against Palmeiras. He got kicked out. The guys, the Barra Brava went to his house, right, pissed to go talk to him. And it just happens that when they get there, he's celebrating his birthday that same day. Like, and they show up, and he's like having tremenda rumba, which is the typical shit that pisses me off about Colombia. You think that these guys, like, you're just lost against your biggest rival, and you're in a country where these people take this shit serious.
Yeah, they take it seriously for sure.
Because I'm not trying to shit on Colombia or on my people or anything, but you go, it's a final, Junior Cali, whatever, blah blah blah. Whoever wins, the other guys after the game, with all the chicks. Oh, we lost. Oh man, great season. But no, at this level, there has to be more. There has to be. Oh yeah, the season's over. I'll be pissed. Okay, maybe I'll piss for a couple of days. But no, not in Colombia, dude. Game's over. We lost.
But you know what? You know what's funny about that? I admire Brazilian footballers a lot. I do. I grew up a big Ronaldo and Ronaldinho fan.
Well, they got 5 Cubs, man.
I know.
They get special privileges. They get special privileges.
That's what I was going to say. Yes, that's what I was going to say, is that I feel like Colombia is almost cut from the same cloth of the type of personality. We just don't have the trophies or the quality to back it up like the Brazilians do. But the Brazilians, like imagine Ronaldinho without the partying personality, would have been a goat.
It
But
cracks me up that
we
you
don't
said
have that.
It cracks me up that you said that because when I was a kid, Colombia wasn't qualifying to World Cups. Like the first one that I saw was in 1990, so they weren't qualifying. So my team was Brazil. I used to love Zico. So I'm going back and telling you guys all that. So I used to love Brazil, and I love the style because of what you're saying. Like they seemed very familiar.
There's something about the Joga Bonito that just keeps you going.
Oh, fantastic! It's like Colombians are not comparing to the Brazilians.
No, but come from the same cloth, man.
We love to party. We like to have fun. Yeah. We like to be happy, and you love to play pretty because in Colombia you like to throw, back the guy, and those things are fun. So I would always go for Brazil when
same here.
Colombia didn't.
I was
ever
huge.
make it. Colombia didn't ever make it.
Romario, Bebeto with the '94, like all of it. I used to be. If Colombia wasn't in it, I
celebrated '94. I celebrated '94 like if I had won the World Cup. Like if Colombia had won the World Cup.
Well, I was running around doing this every time I scored a goal after that. So yeah, I'm with you. But yeah, we can't do it. Brazilians can do it. They have the trophy cabinet.
We can't do it.
We don't.
We haven't done it just yet. I still believe.
Well, we still have a long way to go for that.
There's a big future. Man, I'm super hyped of the people coming up. I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure if you know what my biggest take is. Colombia has risen, but the coaching has flatlined. They give us second-handed. You want the team to actually take a step to the top. You got to bring a top coach. To me, that's what's missing right now. A guy that comes in and says, "Hey, you got all this talent. Let's go do it. Let's get it together." Yeah. Peckerman started something like that.
I missed how Peckerman galvanized the troops.
Have you guys been watching the
Netflix documentary?
Yeah. It's a little interesting. I don't even know how I feel
watched it. It's so good.
I don't even know how I feel about it. To be honest with you, like some people are like, "Oh, I feel so for him." I don't even know how I feel about it.
I just got done with it earlier today. It's a good binge.
Hey, it's worth watching, but then I started watching Ronaldinho right away.
3. I finished the Ronaldinho. The thing is,
I just started.
I know we're getting off topic. Let me try to get back on, but real quick, I watched the Ronaldinho and the Neymar one over the last month or two, and you can't just like be distracted because I don't speak Portuguese, so I constantly have to read the subtitles. So it's like one of those that you really have to focus in on.
You're a slow reader, bro. I love listening to Portuguese. It's a beautiful language.
But do you understand it? I don't understand. Like you could make out what they're saying.
You can make out some things.
I've been around way too many Brazilians. At this point, I should probably learn.
Some things, yeah. Keep
on. So that was the midfield. So now we're off to the forwards. Luis Diaz. Lucho, he is what we're gonna live and die by. Lucho,
right now,
he is the new king, right, absolutely. And I'm hoping that he has one hell of a run. I mean, I don't know, outside of Bayern, I don't know how much higher he can go club wise. So I think that he should stay in Bayern after this. But if he has a great World Cup showing, you know how that goes. But Luis Diaz, I'm hoping that he can go on the form that he was in with Bayern and carry it into the World Cup.
He's the key. He's the key.
You have Luis Suarez, which, I mean, he balls out in Portugal, pero I mean, I think everybody keeps replaying ese gol que se comió contra Croacia. That right there, everybody's gonna keep just replaying that in their head. He's gonna have to figure out. He's got to score that first game. He has to score to in the friendly. In this friendly coming up against who do they have in the first friendly?
Costa Rica.
He's got to score that first. They have to score that first one to remove that whatever he's having on his.
They just have to score as a team, period, because they play, but they don't score the thinking ball, man. They don't shoot. It hasn't involved.
Bueno,
shoot the damn ball.
Luis Suarez, bota gol. Córdoba, we thought we had a forward, 8 years ago. We're like, we got our forward, and otro que se come gol. So you got Córdoba back. You have Carlos Andrés Gómez, un volante. He's a speed. I like him. And then my favorite surprise, which is the last name I'm going to number 26, El Cucho Hernandez. Was not expecting it. I really hope that if they play him as a 9 and they don't play him out wide. I think that he comes in as a sub to relieve Luis Suarez, and I think he can do some damage. I really do think if they give him an opportunity, he can show. He's been playing well for Real Betis. He played well here in MLS, and I'm
What does
really
he play
excited
with
to see him
Betis?
out there.
He plays 9, or
He
He
plays
plays
a
nine,
striker.
or
Yeah,
does
plays
he
a
put
striker.
does he play false 9?
No, he plays
No,
like a
he
true
plays a true
9.
nine. He plays a true 9.
Because they touch the
So,
ball really nice.
Yeah, I really hope that they play him as a true 9. I mean, those are the forwards. Any comments, Xavier? I'll start with you. Any comments? over the
Absolutely,
forwards?
absolutely, 100%. I mean, it's not like we have like so much to choose from. But John Heider Duran, right? Another young Colombia. He's 21, 22 maybe. Another fantastic talent. When he went in Aston Villa, he was scoring like world-class goals in Premier League, looking like he was the future. And what happened? All the discipline, the lack of maturity, the silly mistakes, silly decisions, ended up moving club to club. Now he was with what's the club Al Nassr, right, with Ronaldo, and then they shipped him off. Where did they
To
put
Russia.
him?
To
He's in
Russia.
Well, he left Russia. He's trying to go back to Saudi.
Was it Zenit?
Zenit,
Was it
yeah.
Zenit? And they're pissed at him because like he took off, he went to Medellin without being invited, waiting to get the call, from the coach to do the camp that they're doing now.
Mhm.
And he never got the call. See, this is the type of players that we have. The kid, him and Yasser, like he was saying, these guys have phenomenal talent, but there's just something missing up here. And another thing that pisses me off is the agents in Colombia. That anybody becomes a representative and they suck. They lead these guys the wrong way, and then they take them just for their own benefit to try to take them anywhere. Doesn't matter, just to try to get as much money as possible from these guys.
Oh, yeah, he shouldn't have
They're
left
not
Aston Villa.
They're not thinking about their careers, and they're not thinking about these guys' futures. Investing money, getting these, because after soccer, they ain't shit. If they haven't done anything, they haven't prepared themselves. They don't have shit. That's why we got guys, living in the streets and stuff. Some of these guys are legends, doing shit jobs. But we got off topic again. But Duran, I think, even with all that,
Duran.
me, Xavier, Coach Xavier, local, I take him.
Over Cordoba?
I take him. No. Cordoba is a man right there. No.
Nah.
Cordoba is there. If you're going to tell me, look, Suarez has to go. Cordoba has to be there. And if you're going to tell me Cucho, I take Duran over Cucho. Me.
Oh, no.
I take Duran over Cucho.
Well, maybe it's my Pereira bias. Why I'm such a big
as far
Cucho
as
guy.
talent wise, no, but Cucho's a steady professional. He showed, so that's fine. But I wouldn't risk, and then there's another risk that the coach was going to take, and the federation told him no. And this is another guy where the federation said no, he's not coming. And that's why he's
Jorge,
not there.
Your thoughts on the forwards?
I'm cool with it. I was just surprised as I didn't expect Duran to get in at all. As much as talented he is for only 22 years old, I truly didn't think he was going to make it.
Me either.
No, we knew he wasn't.
Yeah, we knew he wasn't. But I got a question. Do you think Nestor will ever play 2 strikers?
Nah, I don't think so. What do you think, Xavier?
I mean, do you ever?
I wish he would,
is he putting Cucho behind Luis Suarez and then having Lucho? I mean, Lucho
I
on
think
the left and having John on the right.
Who do you pair? Do you pair your 2 strongest guys with which be Cordoba and Suarez?
Maybe
Suarez is not as technical. Cucho seems to be a little.
That's
more
what I'm saying. You
mobile.
put Cucho and Luis Suarez.
Oh, you can
top.
get one of the
Yeah,
winger guys.
I'm just throwing out ideas.
No,
Yeah,
your ideas are fantastic but now the problem is, are these coaches thinking this way? Because he's been very,
he's been very stuck to his ways,
and they don't adapt. One of the signs to me of a good coach is you have your plan. Everybody has their game plan and what they want to see. But in-game adjustments, you see the game, the flow, what's happening, who's actually playing well, who's doing what they're supposed to, and you make those adjustments in the game to give your team the benefit. I don't see where they've thought of maybe playing with 2 with the false 9. I wish they would. Back in the day, when El Pibe, where was Asprilla and other guys, they played often with 2. Asprilla was one of those you call him a false 9 now, right? He could move, and he was so technical that it was like another midfielder, but he was such a scoring threat, right? So I don't see that other person here, and to me that would have been Duran. To me, that would have been Duran, the guy that kind of moves around and can flow all over the field. But his attitude and his things that he did left him off the squad.
So that's the roster, all 26. Your overall feelings, and then the last person I forgot to mention actually. I did want Castaño on there. I would have rather Deosa from Real Betis also. I would have much rather him over Castaño. Yeah, Deosa.
That would have been a nice. That would have been a nice. That would have been nice because if Castaño is not going to play much, you might as well take this kid who's showing some potential and showing that he's got blood. Like he's competing in tough games. Yeah. He's competing. So, but there's also that I was going to mention Sebastián Villa. We all know, the winger that
controversy.
Yeah, but there's been plenty of controversies in Colombia, and
that's
including
why he didn't get called up though.
But of course, and we know that. But to me, that's a bunch of hypocrisy. But because the worst thing is we got controversies with the actual administrators and directives of the federation. You got people getting arrested. You got people. There's a lot of shit going on, and then they have the nerve to hold it against this guy.
But sponsors look at the people that are shown on TV, and that's why the people behind the scenes their face isn't out there, and that's why they can get away with it.
At that point, it's just marketing.
Yeah, like you can't market somebody that's gonna be in front of the camera. If they're behind the camera, maybe you can get away with it. I mean, I don't disagree with you.
Wasn't he like kind of vindicated in court a little bit? I mean, I don't know, man.
I think honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't speak too much on it because I don't know the details of the whole situation.
I think worse things have been. I mean, it's terrible, but also you should be able to have some sort of redemption. If you screwed up, now you're down forever. If you screwed up and you're making changes and you're moving in the right direction, so they hold that against you, especially being one of the best players that they have. Period.
He's definitely fast. All right. So how do you feel after the roster release? We'll end it with this. So just final words. Jorge, start with you. What are your thoughts now that you have the roster?
Look, it's at the end of the day, it's still a solid team. Like let's put it. It's a team that you should make a run, and the chemistry is there. I mean, like there's familiarity. There's familiarity everywhere, and I think this is still a team that has what it takes. Whether players are in or out, that should have been in or out, but like this squad has the quality to make a run.
Xavier?
I think that I live by a motto like expect anything from anyone at any time. Like I said, with Colombia, it's either going to be fantastic or complete failure, right? But in the goalie, each line needs to have a captain and someone that needs to perform. Davison Sanchez needs to step that up in the back line. He needs to make everybody play at a super high level, and he needs to be the leader there. In the midfield, contrary to James, I think Richard Rios and Lerma are key.
I love Richard Rios. Richard Rios is my favorite player on the team.
He's a fantastic player. Yeah. He's got guts. He knows he's good. He's like what we were talking about earlier, like an 8. Because he can defend and he can attack. He's got a lot of quality. So to me, him and Lerma, if they provide the balance in the midfield and allow James to do his thing, if James is okay, if we have 3/4 of Copa America,
but if we get like a 75% Copa America James, I think we'll
be fine because James is still undeniable talent. So I think that's our strongest part is the midfield, right? We just need to make sure that they defend properly. And then up top, if we don't have like this big name forward except Suarez, Portugal, if he has a good tournament, things can happen. Just Colombia needs to get on and score because we're gonna have possession. We're gonna do things.
I still think this needs to be Luis Diaz coming out for tournament.
100%. That's the last person. That's the last person I was gonna mention. That's the last person I was gonna mention because
make a name out of yourself.
He's right. They got to ride his shoulders. He has to. Everything that he's shown this season, which is fabulous, like one of the best seasons ever in Bayern, for first season there, he's been super amazing. So if he brings that superstar level to the team, then there's a chance. If he brings that superstar level to the team, then there's a chance because the Colombian style of keeping the ball, it's still going to be there. And now I think we're a better, more defensive, solid team as far as the guys are stronger because Colombia used to get pushed around a little bit. I think we don't have that anymore. So if these guys all bring it up, then I think we can make a run. The furthest they've ever been is to 16, right? Yep. I think they can make the 8 or even a semis, right? Well, actually,
I
what
think
they
so.
ended up? No, they ended up.
They ended up in the quarterfinals against Brazil.
Yeah, 2014.
Yeah, 2014. It was quarterfinals. They would have gotten their ass kicked by Germany the next round.
You never know, man. You never know.
Yeah, no.
I'm happily optimistic.
No, me too.
What about you, Danny? For wrap it up.
Como le dije,
Eso es.
ilusionado hasta la chimba. I am all the way. We're gonna win it all, or we'll take it one game at a time, though. But I will tell you, Richard Rios, I think is gonna be his coming out party, and he's going to sign with Real Madrid after the World Cup. One, because he has a good tournament, and two, because of Mourinho going over there, because he played great under him in Benfica. So I definitely see him ending up, if he has a good tournament, in Real Madrid. And honestly, we saw the 26-man roster today. The starters hasn't changed, right? The predicted starters that we have in mind after the roster came out, those are going to be the guys playing the big minutes, and everybody is still intact. All we saw was a little bit of depth pieces, and honestly, some of the ones that were like, oh, maybe he should have made it. Those guys aren't going to play many minutes anyway. So I think the majority of it that we thought before today, it's still there. And again, I'm optimistic also, one game at a time, though. If you're listening on audio, appreciate you listening to the end. Please 5 stars and a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. And we'll be back talking, probably going to preview the first friendly game. So until the next one, have a good one.